Buskar, this is Craig. Can you hear me?
Frank, how are you?
Excellent. Thank you very much. Are you ready to get started?
I think so.
Excellent. All right. Let's put your presentation up if you don't mind so that we know. As you know, I'm going to introduce you briefly, and then I'm going to read the safe harbor statement, and then you're going to walk through your deck, I presume, right?
Give me 30 seconds. Okay, can you see my deck?
Yes, I can. Are you going to
Okay,
put it in presentation mode,
I
please?
will be putting it in the
Thank you.
demo.
All right. If you're ready, Bhaskar, I will press record and introduce you, and we'll start this thing.
And
Okay?
what time does it actually start? 2:30, right?
Are you Mountain Time?
Yeah. Sorry.
It started at 4:50. It started at 2:15 Mountain. It started 1 minute ago, actually. And that's fine. And we have plenty of attendees on. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get this thing started in about 15 seconds. Thank you for waiting. This is the FatPipe webinar.
Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. This is Craig Brailsford with RedChip Companies. Thank you for joining today's event with FatPipe, which trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker FATN. With us today, we have Ragula Bhaskar, Chief Executive Officer of FatPipe. We will begin with a brief presentation in a moment, and then we will answer your questions. Users may submit a question at any time by using the Q&A tool at the bottom of the Zoom window. Before we begin, please allow me to read the Safe Harbor Statement. This call may contain forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. All statements pertaining to future financial and/or operating results, along with other statements about the future expectations, beliefs, goals, plans, or prospects expressed by management, constitute forward-looking statements. Any statements that are not historical facts should also be considered forward-looking statements. Of course, forward-looking statements involve risks and uncertainties. I now turn the webinar over to Bhaskar. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining the call. I'm very excited to present our numbers as well as talk about the company. For those of you who are joining the presentation for the first time, I will go over what we do and how we do it and why we are successful in what we do. And those of you who have listened to parts of the presentation before, welcome back. Legal disclaimer that was already covered. So what do we do? In a nutshell, we can take any last mile networking technology, as you can see in the bottom, from fiber to modem to satellite to 5G. We combine them into one single corporate network accessible anywhere in the world. So essentially, if you're a company and you're in multiple locations, you can buy local technology and we will make it look like a single corporate network. In the process, we give you high reliability, high redundancy of network, very high security, and high speed. So that's what we bring to the table for a customer. I'd like to talk about the accolades we get. If the question is, how are you differentiating yourself from everybody else? Here's the answer. We make things better than everybody else. Our products are rated the number one in the business in multiple years in a row, and also number one in support. This makes sure that the customer not only buys and uses the product, the best product, but also is supported very well. Because most big companies don't do very well in support. So we have had this ability to take care of a customer that keeps a customer with us for a long time. This is another study by Gartner. That's another survey company. And there again, compared to the Cisco's and the VMwares of the world, we are considered the best product. So what do we do? Like I said earlier, we take multiple data lines and combine them. If one data line goes down, we automatically flip you over to the next available line. And we have multiple patterns on the topic. So if you're a financial institution, we make sure that your network is always functional, even if one line fails. Same thing in a 911 emergency center. And we have a number of emergency centers in the country that run on FatPipe. We ensure that your call goes through. If you're in a patient in an ER, the doctor is able to access any cloud, wherever the EMR records are held, insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. We ensure that your connection is always up and running. So, quick summary, we had a product revenue growth of 16%. Revenue was almost 4 million, 3.9. EBITDA was 1.1. Increase in net income was 22%, and the gross margin was sustained at 94%, 1.8% higher than the last year. The advantage of our product, our company is, our product is software. We sell software, high-speed switching software. So the COGS is not as high, so we are not affected as much by the tariffs that were imposed. We are happy to report that FatPipe was added to the Russell's 3000 index, extended index, as well as a micro-cap index. This gives you a quick summary of our P&L. As you can see, the revenues are about 3.9. COGS was about 200-some thousand. And in terms of income from operations, 1 million plus, and EBITDA was 1.04. In terms of cash flow, last quarter, we cleaned up all the sundry payments we had to make to everyone. And we had an operating cash flow around 33,000 a month negative. Last month, we turned positive. We had about 200,000 plus in positive cash flow last month. That will be included in the next quarterly presentation. So we have turned cash flow positive. We have been cash flow positive for a while, but last quarter, because of the IPO and the excess cash that came in, we took care of all the liabilities we had. In terms of balance sheet, we have a healthy balance sheet. We have about 6 million cash in the bank, and accounts receivables of another 4 million, contracts receivables, current portion another 5 million. So we are comfortable in terms of short-term assets, and in long-term assets, contracts receivables again is another 13 million approximately. Liabilities includes deferred revenues, potential tax liability, which we have to set aside, and then an operating lease liability. And then our only long-term liability is an SBA 10-year loan that we pay out monthly. In terms of our market, 94-95% is the United States. We have had about 11 salespeople before, 11 to 12, and we are expanding to about 28 salespeople by the end of March. So we'll essentially double our sales team in the US. We also have some operations in India and Philippines, but primarily the focus is the US market for us. The market itself for SD-WAN, a technology that we created, is going to be around $5 billion. So what is our sales model? There are two things we are doing. One is our current customer contracts. As you saw before, 97% of our customers say they will renew, and that is the actual rates are running around 94%. So we have a good retention rate of customers. Number two, sales team expansion, including our current salespeople. As we add more salespeople, their production this year and becomes the current team next year. So we are going to see a significant increase in the number of salespeople we have, and hopefully the sales that we get from these sales teams. We also introduced a cybersecurity product. We announced it in May, and we started rolling it out this quarter. We hope to see some sales coming from that. And initial reviews, initial responses from customers and partners have been very good. We are very happy about that. And so this is a sales model, layering sales from current sales team, sales from the new sales team we are hiring, as well as contracts rollover. All the field salespeople are responsible only for new sales. Any current sales rolls over to an inside sales team. So why do people buy FatPipe? We offer a simplified solution. We seamlessly connect your network anywhere in the world, any last mile technology. We give you a fail-proof infrastructure, and we have high security that we provide you along with the product. So the product offerings is SD-WAN, the technology we invented, SASE, the same technology in the cloud, cyber security, and the most interesting was one of the vice presidents at a large company said, you guys have an evergreen product line because at every connection to anybody's network, you need a box at the end of that network and technology at that network. And again, cybersecurity, everybody needs it all the time. So we are very fortunate to have technologies that are evergreen. So this is a simple diagram of what an SD-WAN is. Essentially connects your various offices, branches, data centers, backup centers, public cloud, private cloud, you name it, we have seen it. We have done more than 6,500 customers in our history and more than 3,000 customers currently deployed and managed. This is a unique technology that we developed where in a sub-second, literally 100 milliseconds or 50 milliseconds, we can switch your connection. In this case, a roving vehicle, we can switch you between any technologies. And this is a very unique technology, it's patented. And the UK Space Agency, along with the European Space Agency and the University of Oxford had selected FatPipe for all the big networking products and deployed it in a initial test vehicle and then in a test ambulances. We were the ones who were able to deliver the kind of connectivity, the speed of switching. Essentially, we took a network that was 10 to 20% of the time down to 99+%, which is the reason why we are very popular with high mission critical networking customers. So this is a new technology that we have introduced. This is called SatBoost. As some of you may know, if you're using 5G or if you're using satellites, the connection is always poor. And if you throw in some cloud cover, you have high jitter, latency, and packet loss. As you can see here, we can significantly improve your performance of your satellites. This is a SAT booster. And depending on what type of files, if you look at the last slide, when you're transmitting very large slides, very large data, those packets can drop, the connection can drop, which means your large data file may not have gone through. We ensure that file actually goes through. That's a big deal. Sorry, my remote connection got cut off. Give me a minute. Sant, would you like to jump in and pull it up?
Yes, I will. If you'll
Okay.
give me one moment.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Give me a second, folks. Okay, so again, large files can land. Isn't it funny when you're doing a presentation, that's when something goes wrong. So large files with satellites actually can go through properly. And then we have a complete product offering. It's called a single stack product offering, which means I take care of your network, your physical network connectivity. I take care of your network security. I take care of your firewall, your cyber security. Most of the time, cyber security is protecting your company from all kinds of attacks, including internal theft. So we have something called deep packet inspection, which is common in cybersecurity. So we monitor and track everything that's going in and out of your company. We also have something called SIEM, S-I-E-M, which is Security Information and Event Management. And that is used to tracking HIPAA compliance, any kind of compliance, PCI compliance for credit card industry, HIPAA compliance for the hospital sector. Anything you want to monitor and track and save that information, we provide it on a single stack. And that's very important. The reason is currently, if you want all these, you have to go to 5 different providers. You go to a router company, you go to a firewall company, you go to a cyber security company, and then you have a network monitoring company, and somebody who restores the system. We do it in a single call, one call, that's all. The advantage to a SMB customer, which is small and medium business customer, they don't have the level of CISO and all the specialized security guys in the company. They're looking for someone to solve their problem. One call, they get the whole thing solved. No finger pointing, no blaming others. That's what the market is for us. When we say SMB, about $1 billion in sales and less. And we are very good at taking care of customers, as you've seen in multiple surveys. This is our network monitoring system. This is our network monitoring system. We monitor the entire network for you. We monitor speed, latency, everything you can imagine, up-down status. This is our single pane of glass cybersecurity system. As you can see here, we are monitoring the DDoS attacks on your endpoints. We are monitoring access. We are monitoring bad domains from coming in, bad IP addresses from coming in. We can block off countries which are known players or known actors in cybersecurity. So pretty much whatever you need in cybersecurity, we provide you that. And then we also have SIM, which is monitoring all types of network security and event monitoring that we need to do. So what the customer gets is a single solution. So who are our customers? Across industries, government, healthcare, education, transport, you name it, we are in the business. So we're not tied to a particular sector. We have a strong IP portfolio. We have multiple, because we were the first in the business. We have a very strong IP portfolio. We have unique technologies for different segments inside network, especially voice and VPN and something called flat networks, which I won't bore you with. In terms of senior executive team, I have Sanch Datta, who's our co-founder, CTO, and probably our best salesperson, because customers trust us. Customers trust her when she says something. Besides that, the multiple governors have recognized both of us and have put us in some very key boards in the state. Sanch was, for instance, the Utah System of Higher Education, which manages all the universities and colleges in the state, and the Board of Regents. And I was helping the governor run the Governor's Office of Economic Development for both the governors. I also helped raise funds to build the new planet aquarium that we have, and then served on the zoo board, besides serving on the university committees. And then our CFO worked at PwC and has been 15 years of accounting advisory based in New York. And Tom Ofiro was a senior VP of cyber security and SASE sales at AT&T. He's leading the same effort in FatPipe. Matt Swift, again, was an AVP at AT&T, running a $700 million sales group. Same thing with Tom. He was running a $700 million sales group. And then Stephen Steele has a lot of background in technology product management. And he's running our product management and helping us with the government business. Our board of directors, we are very happy with the kind of board members we have. Highly accomplished people. Ajay Tandon ran a 7,000 employee company, 17 factories, manufacturing factories, and was CEO of the year. Then Bobby Majumdar has both SEC background as well as corporate background. So he's one of the smartest lawyers I know. And Jean Turgeon was the chief technologist at Avaya Nortel, and then later on at DXC and He retired last year at NTT Cloud. So good, strong board members, good, strong management team, great product. I love our product, obviously, and customers love our product. That's what matters the most. In terms of contact info, we presented here our information, including our mobile numbers. As a company policy, our business cards have a mobile number which we give to our customers. That way, if they ever have to call us, they can. The 20-some year history of the company, they received 7 phone calls. That tells you something, right? So with that, I'll stop, and please feel free to ask questions. I think RedChip has been collecting questions, and so please go ahead and if you can combine them into one set of questions.
Yes, will do, Bhaskar. Thank you. If you want to add any more questions to the mix, please press the Q&A button and type in your question. The Q&A button is at the bottom middle of your Zoom window. As we can take only your written questions today, we ask that you please not use the raise hand button. Bhaskar, what key milestones or catalysts do you foresee in the next 12 to 24 months that could positively impact the company's valuation or stock price? Contract rollovers, new salespeople, and new products being sold to the same customer, for example.
Actually, you just gave the answer. We are doubling our sales team in the US and adding people outside the US. And typically, we hire salespeople with about 20 plus years of experience. So they come in with the Rolodex and an understanding of the market. We don't hire people outside the industry. They have to be within the industry. That's number one. So as we double our sales team, we are going to increase our sales. Number one. Number two, contracts are rolling over. The 2022 contracts, 3-year contracts are rolling over. And as you saw the statistics, about 94-95% of the customers are renewing. That's a good thing because the cost of acquiring the customer there is zero. Maintenance is all we need to do. That's happening. Number two, we are so current salespeople continue to produce new sales. And then new products, our cybersecurity product and our satellite booster product. Those two will start contributing going forward because both were introduced just last month or two. So those are the key features and catalysts for our growth in the future, as you saw in the rollover chart.
Thank you, Bhaskar. What are the company's long-term profitability targets, and what are the key factors that could impact achieving those margins? Continuing to maintain 15+% growth, would that be possible?
Yes. The reason, as you saw, as the contracts roll over and the sales team come in, we are our goal. I'm not saying it's a projection, so please don't take it as a projection. My goal is 15% growth minimum, and then about 20-25% EBITDA. That's an internal goal that we have. And profitability, we have always been profitable, as you've seen in the EBITDA, and then now we are managing our cash flow. So last quarter, we were, if you take away one-time cost of repayment of small loans, we are 33,000 a month negative last quarter. This quarter, in July, we turned positive. We actually did add another 200,000 in the bank. So we have turned cash flow positive. And the goal is to keep it cash flow positive. But I've been listening to a number of analysts who say, spend more money on hiring salespeople to grow. So we'll add more salespeople, but we'll make sure that we are positive cash flow.
Could you elaborate on the key initiatives the company is undertaking to expand its market share and revenue growth in the coming years?
Market share, we have historically about 400 partners, all the way from CDW, Insight, many of the regional partners in your states. So we want to invest in that partnership. As you know, the more we invest in the partnership, we are going to grow more. So we have a team that's focused on just partners. It's 8 people now, and they are going to focus on how to get those partners to be more productive, which is training, site visits, lunch and learns, incentives, all of that we are rolling out now.
How does the company differentiate its products and services from competitors, and what measures are in place to sustain this competitive advantage long term?
The most important thing is you always have to have the best product, right? You have to listen to your customers. And I know it seems like a very simple statement. Actually, you have to listen to your customer. Like Sanj, for instance, she travels to visit customers. She's been asked by our partners to come and meet with the customer whenever there's a big deal. So pretty much every other week, she's traveling to some state, meeting with on the big deals, and she meets with some big entities. The customer or partners ask her, present the product, talk to the customer, answer the questions. Most of the times, the customer wants comfort, that we are there to take care of them. So that's what we focus on. Good product, we have the best product, arguably based on customer reviews. We also have the best support. And if you top that off with one-on-one relationships with the large customers and partners, that's the key. Take care of the customer, and the customer will take care of you.
Thanks, Bhaskar. How does FatPipe plan to sustain its revenue growth, especially in an increasingly competitive SD-WAN market?
Again, focus on the customer. It's the same thing as the previous question. Focus on the customer and develop unique technologies. Like earlier, we used to file a lot of patents, but now we have realized that we don't need to file patents because the technology is so embedded. We have literally 2.7 million lines of code. Now we can embed our technology inside and not have to publish it as a patent. So we are always developing new stuff. I mean, every month we are releasing new features inside the product. And that's what is important. The big companies, right? The very big companies, they don't update their product. They have a team that comes and goes. And so they depend on the sales team. We want to make sure we have something unique to offer to the customer. And now that we have financial resources, we have started adding more salespeople. So imagine in the last several years, we had only about 11 to 12 salespeople. In 1 year, we are going to double our sales team. And then once we get through next year, again, add more salespeople.
What specific strategies are in place to increase recurring revenue streams even more?
Essentially, most of our new contracts are all recurring revenue contracts. We have very few one-off deals anymore. Pretty much everything that we do now is recurring revenue. And customers like it. Actually, once we switched to the recurring revenue model, we saw more revenues come in because sometimes people cannot afford to pay 3 years of cost upfront. It's like buying cars, right? Earlier, people didn't have the concept of leasing. So car companies took all the money up front. But once the leasing started, more people could afford to pay monthly payments. Same thing is true here. A lot of people are able to pay monthly payments, and therefore revenues have gone up. And we will continue to focus on recurring revenue streams. Like cybersecurity is all recurring revenue, right? Every month you have to be protected. You can't buy a box. You have to buy software that's constantly updating your network. And we constantly are updating our databases every day with new viruses and new IP addresses and new domains so that the customer gets the latest. So it's an evergreen product.
What were the primary drivers behind the 16.2% increase in product revenue this quarter?
Just plain increase in sales. As the sales increase, the numbers go up.
Can you provide a breakdown of revenue by geography or segment? For example, product versus services.
94-95% of our sales is in the United States. The rest of the world is about 5%. And in terms of product versus professional services, 85-90% now is product, and 10% is services. And you'll see that as our products increase, our services revenue will start being a smaller part of our offering.
Was the 22% increase in net income driven more by revenue growth or cost control measures?
Our revenue growth, because our costs have not changed much other than sales team costs. So it's essentially increase in revenues, is increase in product revenues. Like I said, it's 94% gross margin. So it goes almost all of it to the bottom line. That's basically the reason.
How does FatPipe plan to manage cash burn and maintain positive adjusted EBITDA moving forward?
Because we are pretty much bootstrapped and self-managing, we haven't raised, before the IPO, we didn't raise any money since 2003. We always had the culture of cash management and cost management. For instance, good question actually. For instance, we have 2 automation engineers. For a small company like us, we have 2 engineers devoted only to automation, which means every internal aspect of the company, from customer onboarding to customer project management to engineering testing, marketing, accounting now, we automate everything internally. The advantage of that is we can grow without adding a lot of overhead, a lot of G&A to the company. And that is really what we are doing now, and we are on track to continue to do that.
Are there plans for further fundraising, either through secondary offerings or debt financing?
Right now, we are not planning that because we are a cash flow positive company. There are no plans at this time.
Final question, Bhaskar. How will the tariffs affect FatPipe?
Good question, because it's very topical, I guess. Our cost of goods is 6%. And so if you take a 20% tariff, that goes up by 1.2%. However, having said that, the Chinese have started reducing costs. So they are buffering some of that additional cost by not raising prices. And the other thing that happens is when you do renewals of contracts, the hardware is already in the customer's place at their end points. And so when you do a renewal of 3-year contracts for another 2 years, you really don't have to ship a new box. You continue to use the same box. So essentially, like this year, we are expecting about $5 million worth of renewals to come through. And when that happens, the cost of goods normally would have been about $400,000. But that cost of goods is not there because the same old hardware continues to be used. So essentially, all of that will balance out the increase, 1.2%.
Thank you very much, Bhaskar, for answering all those questions, as well as Sanch. For more information about FatPipe, reach us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at fatn@redchip.com. Visit RedChip's investor information page for FatPipe. It's fatninfo.com. There you can view and download the investor presentation and fact sheet and sign up for news alerts on FatPipe. RedChip is excited to announce the launch of RedChat, our advanced AI assistant designed to empower investors with instant, in-depth insights on thousands of small-cap and micro-cap stocks. Try it now on fatninfo.com or go to red.chat. Watch Small Stocks, Big Money, RedChip's program featuring exciting small-cap companies every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Bloomberg USA. And finally, join RedChip's next webinar with Nova Minerals next Tuesday, August 12th at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern. That's 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern and not our usual start time of 4:15 p.m. Register for all RedChip webinars at redchip.com/events. Thanks again to our participants today, and thank you, Bhaskar and Sanch.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone.